Skyrim Let's Play First Look, Episode 11. Let's continue. Strange things happening with the audio this time. Shrines in the city temples will heal any disease and confer a blessing. Accepting the blessing of one shrine will remove that of another. Oh, here we go. Singing in the middle of the night. Hope you slept well, Lydia. What are we going to do? I don't know. Is this for me? No, apparently not. Oh, potions. Yeah, maybe I should go and buy some from that guy, if he's got any. I didn't really look. Yeah, let's go. Morning, let's go. Each hold tracks its crime separately. A wanted criminal in Whiterun might have no bounty in Solitude, and so on. And why is it loading level 3? And do I have some money now, I wonder? Who's that?
You one of those Skyrim for the Nords types?
I think all folk should be welcome here.
And you're right, at least as far as I'm concerned. Don't let Ulfric or some of these other short-sighted Nords bother you. Most of us are happy to welcome newcomers.
What dark elf called him a war hero? I don't remember any of that. Ulfric doesn't care about outsiders?
Whenever a group of marauders attack a Nord village, Ulfric is the first to sound the horn and send the men. But a group of dark elf refugees gets ambushed, a group of Argonians or a Khajiit caravan, no troops, no investigation, nothing. There's a group of cutthroats out there right now that Ulfric doesn't lift a finger to bring to justice, as long as they don't threaten Nord land.
That's too bad. I'm not going on another quest.
Yes, it is.
Cheerio. Well, why? Let's ask anyway. Why help the dark elves?
Help the dark elves? Oh, you must have heard me talking to Malfir. The dark elves live in a run-down slum called the Grey Quarter. Ulfric's content to keep it that way. I guess they think I can open Ulfric's eyes to their plight and get him to lift a finger on their behalf. I'm trying, but Ulfric is set in his ways. For him, there's two kinds of people in this world. Nords and the folk beneath them.
Okay, well I didn't hear that last bit, so...
Safe journeys, sword brother.
Sure thing. Where the heck am I, anyway?
May the gods watch over your battles, friend.
Cheerio. That, I suppose, is the way out. If I look at the map, maybe. Or is that the palace? Local, please. The Grey Quarter's down there somewhere. Yeah, that is the way out. Okay. Just go and see if he's got some potions, because I need to refuel on potions, don't I, somehow? Is this the place? I don't know. Vaguely remember this. Yeah. Unlock? It's locked. I suppose it is the middle of the night. The Corner Club. The new nicest Corner Club. What's this? Auto-saving, huh? Morning.
Apparently some Nord women were murdered. Not sure why I should care. Things have been a lot worse around here since Ulfric took over.
Why are there so many dark elves here then?
Where else would we be? When the Red Mountain burned, you could scarcely breathe in Morrowind, so we came west. Windhelm was the first city on that road, and here we are. If we had known the Nords would be so unwelcoming, We may have kept walking.
What have you got for sale?
Take a look.
Food and ingredients. Do I need it? I don't think so. Ingredients. Hey.
Let's sate that appetite,
Salt pile, alright, I'll buy them. They seem to be necessary for cooking. Okay. Cheerio.
If you need another drink, I'll be right here.
After all that salt? Yeah. What's up here? Ooh. Forged numbers business letter. Read the Arcturian heresy. Oh, come on then, I might gain something from it. By the Underking Ysmir Kingmaker. With his god destroyed, Wulfharth finds it hard to keep his form. He staggers out of Red Mountain to the battlefield beyond. The world has shaken and all of Morrowind is made of fire. A strong gale picks up and blows his ashes back to Skyrim. Wulfharth adopts and is adopted by the Nords then. Ysmir, the grey wind, the storm of Kine. Funny sentence. But through Lorkhan be through Lorkhan be lost his national identity. Not understanding these sentences here. But though Lorkhan be lost his national identity. No, I don't know. All he wants the Nords for is to kill the Tribunal. He raises the storm, sends his people, and is driven back by Tribunal forces. The Dunmer are too strong now. Wulfharth goes underground to wait and strengthen and reform his body anew. Oddly enough, it is Almalexia who disturbs his rest, summoning the Underking to fight alongside the Tribunal against Adasu Midir Kamal, the Akaviri demon. Wulfharth disappears after Adasum is defeated and does not return for 300 years. It is the rumbling of the Greybeards that wake him. Though the Empire has crumbled, there are rumours that a chosen one will come to restore it. This new Emperor will defeat the Elves and rule a united Tamriel. Naturally, Wulfharth thinks he is the figure of prophecy. He goes directly to High Hrothgar to hear the Greybeards speak. When they do, Ysmir is blasted to ash again. He is not the chosen one. It is a warrior youth from High Rock. As the grey wind goes to find this boy, he hears the Greybeard's warning. Remember the colour of betrayal, King Wulfharth. The Western Reach was at war. Kublcain? I don't know. Kulakain, the king of Falkreath in West Cyrodiil, was in a bad situation. To make any bid at unifying the Colovian estates, he needed to secure his northern border, where the Nords and Reachmen had been fighting for centuries. He allies with Skyrim at the Battle of Old Hroldan. Leading his forces was Hjalti Earlybeard. Hjalti was from the island kingdom of Alcair in High Rock, and would become Tiber Septim, the first emperor of Tamriel. Hjalti was a shrewd tactician, and his small band of Colovian troops and Nord berserkers broke the Reachman line, forcing them back beyond the gates of Old Hroldan. A siege seemed impossible, as Hjalti could expect no reinforcements from Falkreath. That night a storm came and visited Hjalti's camp. It spoke with him in his tent. At dawn, Hjalti went up to the gates, and the storm followed just above his head. Arrows could not penetrate the winds around him. He shouted down the walls of Old Hroldan, and his men poured in. After their victory, the Nords called Hjalti Talus, or Storm Crown. Kulcain, with his new invincible general, unifies West Cyrodiil in under a year. No one can stand before Hjalti's storms. The Underking knows that if Hjalti is to become Emperor of Tamriel, he must first capture the Eastern Heartland. Hjalti uses them both. He needs Kublkane, I don't know what his name is, Kulkane, in the Colovian estates, where foreigners are mistrusted. It is obvious why he needs Ismir. They march on the east, the battle mages surrender before their armies, and they take the citadel. Before Kulkane can be crowned, Hjalti secretly murders him and his loyalist contingent. These assassinations are blamed on the enemies of Kulkane, which, for political reasons, are still the Western Reach. Zurin Arcturus, the Grand Battle Mage, not the Underking, then crowns Hjalti as Tiber Septim, new Emperor of all Cyrodiil. Hope it doesn't go on too long. After he captures the Imperial throne, Septim finds the initial administration of a fully united Cyrodiil a time-consuming task. He sends the Underking to deal with Imperial expansion into Skyrim and High Rock. Ysmir, mindful that it might seem as if Tiber Septim is in two places at once, works behind the scenes. This period of level-headed statesmanship and diplomacy, this sudden silence, heretofore unknown in the roaring tales of Tolosian conquest, are explained away later. The assassination story is embroidered. Now it is popularly Talos' own throat that was cut. The human kingdoms are conquered, even Hammerfell, whose capture was figured to be an arduous task. The Underking wants a complete invasion, a chance to battle their foreign wind spirits himself, but Tiber Septim refutes him. He has already made a better plan, one that will seem to legitimise his rule. Cyrodiil supports the losing side of a civil war, and are invited in. Finally, the Empire can turn its eyes onto the elves. The Underking continues to press on Tiber Septim the need to conquer Morrowind. The Emperor is not sure that it is a wise idea. He's heard of the Tribunal's power. The Underking wants his vengeance and reminds Tiber Septim that he is fated to conquer the elves, even the Tribunal. Arctus advises against the move, but Septim meets the Ebony in Morrowind as he sorely needs a source of capital to rebuild Cyrodiil after 400 years of war. The Underking tells him that, with the Tribunal dead, Septim might steal the Tribunal's power and use it against the High Elves, certainly the oldest enemies of Lorkhan, predating even the Tribunal. Somerset Isle is the furthest thing from Tiber Septim's mind. Even then, he was planning to send Zurin Arctus to the King of Alinor to make peace. The Ebony need wins out in the end. The Empire invades Morrowind and the Tribunal give up. When certain conditions of the armistice include not only a policy of non-interference with the Tribunal, but also, in the Underking's eyes, a validation of their religious beliefs, Ysmir is furious. He abandons the Empire completely. This was the betrayal the Greybeards spoke of. Or so he thinks. Without the Underking's power, all ideas of conquering Tamriel vanish. Would have been nice, Septim thinks, but let's just worry about Cyrodiil and the human nations. Already there is a rebellion in Hammerfell. Does it go on and on and on? I don't know. Pieces of Numidium trickle in, though. Tiber Septim, always fascinated by the dwarves, has Zurin Arctus research this grand artifact. In doing so, Arctus stumbles upon some of the stories of the war at Red Mountain. He discovers the reason Numidium was made and some of its potential. Most importantly, he learns the Underking's place in the war, but Zurin Arctus was working from incomplete plans. He thinks it is the heart of Lorkhan's body that is needed to power the Numidium. While Zurin Arctus is raving about his discovery, the prophecy finally becomes clear to Tiber Septim. This Numidium is what he needs to conquer the world. It is his destiny to have it. He contacts the Underking and says he was right all along. They should kill the Tribunal, and they need to get together and make a plan. While the Underking was away, he realised the true danger of Dagoth-Ur. Something must to be done. But he needs an army, and his old one is available again. The trap is set. The Underking arrives and is ambushed by Imperial guards. As he takes them on, Zurin Arctus uses a soul gem on him. With his last breath, the Underking's heart roars a hole through the battle mage's chest. In the end, everyone is dead, the Underking has reverted back to ash, and Tiber Septim strolls in to take the soul gem. When the Elder Council arrives, he tells them about the second attempt on his life, this time by his trusted battle mage, Zurin, who was attempting a coup. He has the dead guards celebrated as heroes, even the one who was blasted to ash. He warns Cyrodiil about the dangers within, but says he has a solution to the dangers without. The Mantella. The Numidium, while not the god Cyberteptim and the Dreamer hoped for, the Underking was not exactly Lorcan after all, it does the job. After its work on Somerset Isle, a new threat appears, a rotting undead wizard who controls the skies. He blows the Numidium apart, but it pounds him into the ground with its last flailings, leaving only a black splotch. The Mantella falls into the sea, seemingly forever. We have to go on and on? No, right, okay. Meanwhile, Tiber Septim crowns himself the first Emperor of Tamriel. He lives until he is 108, the richest man in history. All aspects of his early reign are rewritten. Still, there are conflicting reports of what really happened, and this is why there is such confusion over such questions as, why does Alcair claim to be the birthplace of Talos, while other sources say he came from Atmora? Why does Tiber Septim seem to be a different person after his first roaring conquests? Why does Tiber Septim betray his battle mage? Is the Mantella the heart of the battle mage, or is it the heart of Tiber Septim? Tiber Septim is succeeded by his grandson, Pelagius I. Pelagius is just not of the same calibre. In truth, he's a little nervous with all these provinces. Then an advisor shows up. I was friends with your grandfather, the Underking says. He sent me to help you run the empire. Yeah. Escape. Put it down. It's not mine to steal, after all. I've just read it. Who needs it? Someone having a snooze. That's the shopkeeper, isn't it? Well, let's go. Is there a book there? Oh dear. A game at dinner. I hope it's short. Oh. Alchemy increased to 16. By an anonymous spy. I hope it's not too many pages. Well, you know. The history behind this letter is almost as interesting and dark as the story it tells. The original letter to the mysterious Dornain was copied and began circulating around the ashlands of Vardenfell a few months ago. In time, a print found its way to the mainland. Prince Hlalu Helseth's palace outside Almalexia. While the reader may conclude after reading this letter that the prince would be furious about such work, impugning his highness with great malevolence, quite the reverse was true. The prince and his mother, Queen Borenzeab, had it privately printed into bound copies and sent to libraries and booksellers throughout Morrowind. As a matter of record, the prince and the queen have not officially stated whether the letter is a work of pure imagination or based on the actual occurrence. The House Trez has publicly denounced the work, and indeed no one named Dornain, despite the suggestions in the letter, has ever been linked to the house. We'll leave the reader to interpret the letter as he or she believes. Dark Liege Dornain, you asked for a detailed description of my experience last night and the reasons for my plea to House Drez for another assignment. I hope I have served you well in my capacity as informant in the court of Prince Helseth, a man who I have stated in many previous reports could teach Molag Bal how to scheme. As you know, I've spent nearly a year now working my way into his inner circle of advisors. He was in need of a friendship when he first arrived in Morrowind, and eagerly took to me and a few others. Still, he was disinclined to trust any of us, which is perhaps not surprising given his tenuous position in Morrowind society. For your unholiness's recollection, the prince is the eldest son of Barenzia, who was once the Queen of Morrowind and once the Queen of the High Rock Kingdom of Wayrest. At the death of her husband, Prince Helseth's stepfather, King Eadwair, there was a power struggle between the prince and Eadwair's daughter, the Princess Elisana. Though details of what transpired are imperfect, it is clear that Elisana won the battle and became queen, banishing Helseth and Barenzia. Barenzia's only other child, Morgia, had already left court to marry and become queen of the Somerset Isle Kingdom of Firsthold. Barenzia and Helseth crossed the continent to return to Morrowind only last year. They were well received by Barenzia's uncle, the current king, Hlalu Hlethan, who had taken the throne after Berenzia's abdication more than 40 years ago. Berenzia made it clear that she had no designs on reclaiming the throne, but merely to retire to her family estates. Helseth, as you know, has lingered in the royal court, and many have whispered that while he lost the throne of Wayrest, he does not intend to lose the throne of Morrowind at Hlethan's death. I've kept your Unholiness informed of the prince's movements, meetings and plots, as well as the names and characters of his other advisors. As you may recall, I've often thought that I was not the only spy in Helseth's court. I told you before that a particular Dunmer councillor of Helseth looked like a fellow I had seen in the company of Thola Sarioni, the arch-canon of the Tribunal Temple. Another, a young Nordwoman, has been verified to visit the Imperial Fortress in Balmora. Of course, in their cases, they might well have been on Helseth's own business, but I couldn't be certain. I had begun to think myself paranoid as the prince himself, when I found myself doubting the sincere loyalty of the prince's chamberlain, Burgess, a Breton who had been in his employ since his days at the court of Wayrest in the court. Yawn. That is the background on that night, last night. Yesterday morning I received a curt invitation to dine with the prince. Based only on my own paranoia, I dispatched one of my servants, who is a good and loyal servant of the House Dres, to watch the palace and report back anything unusual. Just before dinner he returned and told me what he had witnessed. A man cloaked in rags had been given entrance into the palace and had stayed there for some time. When he left, my servant saw his face beneath the cloak. An alchemist of infamous repute, said to be a leading supplier of exotic poisons. A fine observer, my servant also noticed that the alchemist entered the palace smelling of wickwheat, bittergreen, and something alien and sweet. When he left, he was odourless. He had come to the same conclusion as I did. The prince had procured ingredients to prepare a poison. Bittergreen alone is deadly when eaten raw, but the other ingredients suggested something far deeper. As your Unholiness can doubtless imagine, I went to dinner that night, prepared for any eventuality. All of Prince Helseth's other councillors were in attendance, and I noticed that all were slightly apprehensive. Of course, I imagined that I was in a nest of spies, and all knew of the prince's mysterious meeting. It is just as likely that some knew of the alchemist's visit, while others were simply concerned by the nature of the prince's invitation, and still others merely unconsciously adopted the tense disposition of their fellow, better informed councillors. The prince, however, was in fine mettle and soon had everyone relaxed and at ease. At 9 we were all ushered into his dining hall, where the feast had been laid out, and what a feast! Honeyed gore apples, fragrant stews, roasts in various blood sauces, and every variety of fish and fowl expertly and ostentatiously prepared. Crystal and gold flagons of wine, Flynn, Shine, and Matze were at our seats to be savoured as appropriate with each course. As tantalising as the aromas were, it occurred to me that in such a maze of spices and flavours, a discreet poison would be undetectable. Throughout the meal, I maintained the illusion of eating the food and drinking the liquor, but I was surreptitious and swallowed nothing. Finally, the plates and food were cleared from the table, and a tureen of a spicy broth was placed in the centre of the banquet. The servant who brought it then retired, closing the banquet hall door behind him. "It smells divine, my prince," said the Marchioness Colgar, the Nordwoman, "but I cannot eat another thing." "Your Highness," I added, feigning a tone of friendliness and slight intoxication. Indeed, you know that every one at this table would gladly die to put you on the throne of Morrowind, but is it really necessary that we gorge ourselves to death? The others at the table agreed with appreciative groans. Prince Helseth smiled. "I swear by Vernima the Gifter, my dark liege, even you have never seen a smile such as this one." Ironic words. You see, an alchemist visited me today, as some of you already doubtless know. He showed me how to make a marvellous poison and its antidote. A most potent potion, excellent for my purposes. No restoration spell will aid you once you've ingested it. Only the antidote in the tureen will save you from certain death. And what a death, from what I've heard. I'm eager to see if the effects are all that the alchemist promised. It should be horribly painful for the afflicted, but quite entertaining. No one said a word. I could feel my heart beating hard in my chest. Your Highness, said Alarat, the Dunmer, I suspected of an alliance with the temple. Have you poisoned someone at this table? You are very astute, Alarat, said Prince Helseth, looking around about the table, eyeing each of his advisers carefully. Little wonder I value your counsel, as indeed I value all in this room. It would perhaps be easiest for me to say who I haven't poisoned. I haven't poisoned any who serve but one master, any whose loyalty to me is sincere. I haven't poisoned any person who wants to see King Helseth on the throne of Morrowind. I haven't poisoned anyone who isn't a spy for the Empire, the Temple, the House of Telvanni, the House of Redoran, the House of Indoril, the House of Dres. Your Unholiness, he looked directly at me at his last words. I know that in certainty. My face is practice at keeping my thoughts from showing, but I immediately thought of every secret meeting I've had, every coded message I sent to you, and the house, my dark liege. What could he know? What could he, even without knowing, suspect? I felt my heart beating even faster. Was it fear or poison? I couldn't speak, certain as I was that my voice would betray my calm facade. Those loyal to me, who wish harm on my enemies, may be wondering how I can be certain that the poison has been ingested. Is it possible that the guilty party, or dare I say parties, were suspicious and merely pretended to eat and drink tonight? Of course. But even the craftiest of pretenders would have to raise a glass to his or her lips and put empty forks or spoons in their mouths to play the charade. The food, you see, was not poisoned. The cups and cutlery were. If you did not partake out of fear, you're poisoned just the same, and sadly missed an excellent roast. Sweat beaded on my face, and I turned to see the prince so he would not see. My fellow advisers, all of them, were frozen in their seats, from the Marchioness Colgar, white with fear, to Kama Inebi, visibly shaking, from the furrowed, angry brow of Alarat to the statue-like stare of Burgess. I couldn't help thinking then, said the prince's entire that could the prince's entire councillorship be comprised of nothing but spies? Was there any person at the table loyal? And then I thought, what if I were not a spy myself? Would I trust Helseth to know that? No one knows better than his advisers both the depth of the prince's paranoia and the utter implacability of his ambition. If I were not a spy for the House Dres, even then would I be safe? Could a loyalist be poisoned because of a not-so-innocent misjudgment? The others must have been thinking the same, loyalists and spies alike. While my mind whirled, I could hear the prince's voice addressing all assembled. The poison acts quickly. If the antidote is not taken within 1 minute from now, there will be death at the table. I couldn't decide whether I had been poisoned or not. My stomach ached, but I reminded myself it might have been the result of sitting at a sumptuous banquet and not partaking. My heart shook in my chest, and a bitter taste, like trauma root, stung my lips. Again, was it fear or poison? These are the last words you will hear if you are disloyal to me, said Prince Helseth, still smiling that damned smile as he watched his advisers squirming in their seats. Take the antidote and live. Could I believe him? I thought of what I knew of the prince and his character. Would he kill a self-confessed spy at his court, or would he rather send the vanquished back to his masters? The prince was ruthless, but either possibility was within his manner. Surely the theatricality of this whole dinner was meant to be a presentation to instill fear. What would my advisers say? What would my ancestors say if I joined them after sitting at a table, eventually dying of poison? What would they say if I took the antidote, confessing my allegiance to you and the House Dres, and was summarily executed? And I confess, I thought of what you might do to me even after I was dead. I had grown so light-headed and filled with my own thoughts that I didn't see Burgess jump from his seat. I was only suddenly aware that he had the tureen in his hands and was gulping down the liquid within. There were guards all around, though I never noticed them entering. Burgess, said Prince Helseth, still smiling, you spent some time at Ghostgate, House Redoran? You didn't know? Burgess laughed sourly. No, House. I report to your stepsister, the Queen of Wayrest. I've always been in her employ. By Akatosh, you poisoned me because you thought I was working for some damnable dark elves? You're half right, said the prince. I didn't guess who you were working for, or even that you were a spy. But you're also wrong about me poisoning you. You poisoned yourself when you drank from the tureen. Your Unholiness, you don't need to hear how Burgess died. I know that you have seen much over the many, many years of your existence, but you truly don't want to know. I wish I could erase the memory of his agonies from my own mind. The council was dismissed shortly thereafter. I do not know if Prince Helseth knows or suspects that I too am a spy. I do not know how many others that night, last night, were as close as I was from drinking from the tureen before Burgess did. I only know that if the prince does not suspect me now, he will. I cannot win at the games he mastered long ago at the court of Wayrest, and I beg your Unholiness, my dark liege Dormain, to use your influence in the House Dres and dismiss your loyal servant from his charge. Publisher's note, of course the anonymous writer's signature has not been on any reprint of the letter since the original. Okay. Is that useful? I've no idea, but it doesn't sound terribly useful. For a start, how am I going to remember all that stuff? Let's get out of here then. Cheerio. Right. Let's explore a bit more, I suppose. I need to find the market and buy some stuff, some potions. Hello, hello?
Be on the lookout. The butcher could be around any corner.
Yeah. Is that all you got to say?
After what happened to those other women, I'm worried about my own safety.
Okay. Atheron residence. Okay.
Women murdered time and again, and all the guards care about is the war.
I was one of the best soldiers in the Stormcloak army, until I took a sword to the chest. I'd be out there fighting the Imperials right now if it wasn't for my war wound.
Here, a gold piece then.
Oh, thank you. Divines bless your kind heart. Until next time.
Yeah. I see the tab key. Yes, okay. Alright. Do I have useful potions really? No, I need healing stuff, don't I? How much money do I have? Misk, does it tell me? Nah. Who's this?
Horses. All day long. Do you have any idea how dull horses are? If the guards would listen to Viola, they'd have caught the butcher by now.
Nothing useful to say then. Okay. Seem to be... Oh, I thought we were coming to a dead end, but hello, hello. Did I miss something there? Hall of the Dead. Ooh. Yeah.
This is the Hall of the Dead. Someday you'll end up here.
Thanks.
My job's simple enough. The dead don't really complain much.
Okay. Can I wander around? Is it okay?
Luckily, Windhelm is cold, so the dead don't rot as quickly. Sometimes the burial has to wait for the ground to thaw, though.
Okay. Anything else? No. Right. Steal, steal, steal. I don't want to steal. I'm just nosing about, basically. Oh, there's lots of it here.
Hear my prayers, Alphatucana, and grant peace to these departed.
What am I wandering around for? I have no idea. But there's lots of it here, goodness me. I hope they're not flipping gonna wake up and kill me or something. You know. And how do I find the way out? I haven't... yeah, quite. I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm certainly not going to take and steal stuff from here because it's not really appropriate, I suspect. This is like a civilized town, right? Well, I suppose it's what passes for a city in this medieval type of place. Okay, so there's not... It's windy down here, isn't it? Oh, Lydia. What's the point, I wonder, in exploring this place? Since I don't want to steal anything. I think I've explored around here a bit before. Yeah. Anything here? No. Hello. I have explored around here before, yes. I just feel there's more to the city on this side. I mean, that's... You have the Grey Quarter. And this is like, what? An eighth or something? I don't know.
Hear now the prayers of your humble servant. Bless these departed souls and welcome them into the realms beyond.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Ooh, this looks like a market. Maybe I can buy or sell some stuff. What's this? Blacksmith, okay. It's not open, is it? But what do we have here? Shields. Weapons and stuff. Food. Meat. It's probably a bit early in the morning. Oh, there's a guard here as well. Okay.
Got to thinking. Maybe I'm the Dragonborn. I just don't know it yet. Everything's all right?
Yeah. Ah, look who it is.
Working in Windhelm is great. I get to see Ulfric up close. I never expected Ulfric to live up to his legend, but he does.
Sounds like you really admire Ulfric.
Every Nord should admire Ulfric. He fights for all of us. In fact, he's the reason I chose to learn the smithing trade. I want to make weapons and armor for the great Stormcloak army.
Do you like being a blacksmith?
Smithing isn't the most exciting thing for me, but we all have to lend a hand as best we can. If a Stormcloak uses one of my swords to strike down an Imperial soldier, then I've done my part to free our land. A word of advice, don't buy discounted armor.
Everyone says Jorland Greymane is the best smith in Skyrim. I plan to change a few minds about that.
What have you got for sale?
Finest weapons and armor.
Sword of Dismay. Wow. Creatures and people up to level 5, and it's only 432. Flee from combat for 30 seconds. Iron Mace of Chills. Target takes 5 points of frost damage to health and stamina. Some interesting stuff here. 22, 10. Iron Sword of Dismay. Damage 8, but creatures meet up to level 5 flee. Target takes frost damage to health and stamina as well. Hide Shield of Resist Magic. Expensive stuff though. What about my stuff? Do you want any of it? Battle Axe of Cold. That's better than his weapon, I think. Yeah. Do you want this? If I do this, will I sell it? Yeah. Why not? Does he want these? No, no, no. Okay. Where do I find?
Whether it's armor you need or a new blade, come see me.
Ooh, level up. That's where it is. What does stamina do? I don't know. But it's my health that's always at risk, isn't it? Increase health, yes. And I level up again. And I can increase some perks, can I? I don't know how to do it or anything, but I have to do this, do I? I don't know what I'm doing with this interface. Enter doesn't do it. Augmented shock. Okay. Augmented flames. Hold on, hold on. What's wrong with augmented shock? Why can't I go there? What does impact do? That's quite good. But how do I implement it? How do I get it? Come here. So destruction, dual casting, go away. I can move around, but what are the instructions for actually doing something? Like picking one of these. Come here. I can move around with the WASD, okay. I've got that. So what I want to do is get that. Perks to increase 3. Left click, double click, right click, no. Enter, no. Space, no. I'll probably have to look it up, how to use these, how to do something with this. I've got the list of keys here. Equip, could be, couldn't it? E, nope. Radiate, nope. I'll have to read about it, because who knows? We can sort that out whenever.
I had many associates in the shipping profession. I have a business proposition for any sailors who might be looking to make a cruise to accept
If that business proposition includes smuggling, get it. The sailors I know are plenty good at finding trouble without any help.
food and vegetables for sale. Such a wet blanket, Captain.
I've got your back.
Girl, have a little fun from time to time.
Let's trade some things with you
At
then.
your command.
What have you got? 19, Iron Mace of Souls. It feels a soul gem. I want to give you a soul gem, don't I? Don't think you need that, do you? I could sell it. Oh, you can carry those things. Oh, wow. Right, ingredients, so you can have the potions back, because I want to...
I am at your command.
I want to buy them, basically. Okay, I've got a bunch of stuff. Can I sell it, any of it, to the blacksmith?
Lead on.
I think that's what's happening. Where do I see how much gold I've got? Inventory. Nope. Maybe it's those numbers that are off the bottom of the screen that I can never see.
Need some metal hammered? Looking to protect yourself or deal some damage?
You can have that. Oh. What happened to the apparel that I took up? Misk?
Blades, helmets, pretty much anything to suit your needs. Take a look.
I click on that, it like vanishes. So if I look at this, 19 value takes 5 points of frost, target takes 5 frost, okay, damage 19 and damage 9, and his weapons weight 13, Iron Mace of Chills, hold on, Iron Sword of Dismay. I'm thinking of equipping Lydia with one of these, you know. But I actually have some decent weapons already. Axe of Whiterun. Well, this one is slightly better. Value 48. Hold on. That's 5 points of shock damage and half as much magicka damage. And this one is 5 frost to health and stamina. I don't think it's such a good deal. But why can I not dump my flipping apparel? Let's go back then to Lydia.
If you meet anyone in your travels who needs good steel, send them my way.
I'm right behind you. I am sworn to carry your burdens.
Thank you, Bean. Apparel? Well, why couldn't I sell them? Because he wouldn't buy them, probably. Yeah, okay. Let's see if I can walk around with them at the moment. Oh, hardly.
Let's get going then.
Is there a clothes shop somewhere I can sell stuff to? I don't know. Is there a map? Map. Local. Stuff up here maybe?
Everyone says Yorland Greymane is the best smith in Skyrim. I plan to change a few minds about that.
I'd travel more, but who wants to deal with all the soldiers these days?
What have you got for sale?
Trinkets, odds and ends, that sort of thing.
I have a little of everything for sale. Come, see for yourself.
Do you want to buy this? Value 52. Alright. Get rid of them. Sort of half price, but never mind. Hey. She has that. I'll take them. Bound sword. Creates a magic sword. Creates a hovering light. Creates people will attack anything nearby. Improves caster's armor rating by 40 points for 60 seconds. Could be useful in an emergency. No misc, okay. Hold on, have you got
Trinkets, odds and ends, that sort of thing.
Do you want to buy some of my stuff at your ridiculously low prices? Basically no. Right, so
Thank you for your custom.
it's okay, I wish I knew how much money I had. Right.
I'll pay the same price as
What's
anyone
this?
else.
But I'll be fine.
Master, you're far too old for this sort of journey. We don't know what's inside.
I can just.
You see, you're not well. Have a seat, and I'll fetch you some tonic.
Oh, if there was a tonic that could help me, I would have found it by now. I'm so close to the answer.
What are you arguing about?
Just a man's life work is all. I finally derived the location of the white phial, but this doting busybody won't let me get it.
Oh well. I'm not taking on any missions.
Hope to see you again soon.
Yeah. What have you got for sale?
I'm sorry to always be so hard on you, boy. So, you're interested in my potions and ingredients?
I'm sorry, I was reading up on the effects of distillation.
Draft of extra magicka. Draft of health. Lasting. Yeah. Lasting potency. Magicka regenerates 606% faster. Yes. I don't have enough gold. Ah. Oh, that's really expensive, right. That was useful, but that is, it was expensive. How much gold do I have? I would really love to know. Potion of glibness. Minor healing. I'm out of money, yes. So what do I have now? A few odds and ends, right. Okay, good. And no money.
No, I was
Till next time. Out of my sight!
So, okay, I bought some potions. I have no more money to do anything. I can't even train on pickpocketing now because to finish it off. Let's just get out of here and get the taxi.
My job's simple enough.
Or is there something down here?
Here are my prayers and
Right, Niels, what's up?
Name's Nils. I'm the cook up at Candlehearth Hall.
Oh. That's the market.
Can't just throw the big logs on the fire. Gotta have the little bits too.
That's useful. Right. Let's go. There's probably more to see here, but I'm out of here. It's a bit of a dump, frankly. Can I afford to hire the taxi driver? That's a good question. Let's hope I can steal some gold somewhere, I don't know.
Horses, all day long. Do you have any idea how dull horses
Taxi.
Need a ride? I can take you to any of the hold capitals.
Alright.
Where do you want to go?
That's it, is it? Never mind. Let's look at the map. Let's look at the map. Hold on.
Until next time.
Winterhold, Dawnstar, Dragon's Reach, Fort Ammo. Rorikstead, Markarth. Well, am I going to walk or what? Whiterun is there, which is quite close to where I need to go, I suppose. Rather than trekking all the way cross country here, I might do that if I've got 20 gold.
My carriage is the safest way to travel. Where do you want to go? Climb and back and we'll be off.
Come on, Lydia.
When I'm in Whiterun, I always visit the Guild Green. Never hurts to pay your respects to Lady Kinnereth.
Alchemy labs can be used to combine ingredients into useful potions and deadly poisons. And hooray, we've arrived here. And he's putting the horse away. Alright. It's a good place to stop, I think. Bit of a in-betweeny episode there. And I'll see you in part 12, where I hope to head... Well, I might have to stop here and make some money, I don't know. But bye for now.